Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk. Yes, it's that time of year again, it's award season. We've just had the Oscars. You will no doubt be aware of the winners at this point. Yeah, pretty good year, I think, for the most part. But yes, as has become tradition now, it is time for me to do my annual Lomax Movie Awards, which is where it kind of started as my attempt to right the wrongs of the Oscars, but yeah, I enjoy doing this, to be honest, rather than the more traditional kind of YouTube top 10 of the year. I feel like doing an award show like this allows me to also look at films that perhaps don't appear in my top 10 but deserve a mention for very specific things. You know, they might not be the best films of the year, but there's something about them that deserves mentioning, and I feel like doing an award show like this really, allows me or affords me the opportunity to do that. So yeah, we got a bunch of categories. I did release my nominations over on Facebook and on the community link on my channel just a few days ago, but yeah, I will read out the nominations here as well, but obviously this time I will also give out the winners. So first up, let's get to it. First award is costume design, and the nominations for costume design are Judiana Makovsky for Avengers Endgame, Sanja Milkovich Hayes for Captain Marvel, Michael Kaplan for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Jane Petrie for The King, and Jacqueline Duran for Little Women. And the Lomax Movie Award for Best Costume Design goes to Jane Petrie for The King.
Surrender to me, King of England.
Next up, we've got Best Visual Effects. The nominations for this category are Alita, Battle Angel, Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel, Star Wars Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker, and The Lion King. And the winner of this award, and perhaps for my money this year the biggest snub by the Oscars, is Alita Battle Angel.
She's threatening the natural order of things.
Next up, we've got Best Cinematography. The nominations for this category are as follows: Roger Deakins for 1917, Hoyt van Hoytema for Ad Astra, Rodrigo Prieto for The Irishman, Robert Richardson for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Lawrence Sher for Joker. And the winner of this category should come as no surprise to people who know me. He's my favourite cinematographer. He's won this award in past Lomax Movie Awards. It is, of course, Roger Deakins for 1917, who did take the Oscar this year, quite rightly so, it must be said. Next up, we've got Best Production Design, and the nominations are Rick Carter and Kevin Jenkins for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Kayla Edelblut and Steve Joyner for Alita Battle Angel, Dennis Gassner for 1917, Kevin Thompson for Ad Astra, and Charles Wood for Avengers Endgame. And the winner of this category goes to Kayla Edelblut and Steve Joyner for Alita Battle Angel, a film that has been, pretty much dismissed, I feel. It is a film that deserves much more love, definitely deserves a sequel, and for my money, excellent production design and brilliant visual effects, much deserving of, at the least, a nomination. Next up, we've got Best Animated Feature. Only 4 in this category. I'm not the biggest animation guy. Most animated movies that I watch are the DC Universe stuff. You won't find any of them in this list. I do like them quite a bit, but the films they're up against are clearly, yeah, on a different league. So yeah, I went with 4 nominees for this one, and they are as follows: Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, The Lego Movie, the second part, and Toy Story 4. And the winner of this category goes to Toy Story 4.
We all have to make sure nothing happens to Forky.
Something happened to him.
Next up, we've got the award for Best Adapted Screenplay. So this is a screenplay that is based on prior material, whether it be an article or a book or another program or whatever. Yeah, the nominees are as follows: Mike Flanagan for Dr. Sleep, Greta Gerwig for Little Women, Todd Phillips and Scott Silver for Joker, Taika Waititi for Jojo Rabbit, and Steven Zaillian for The Irishman. And the winner of this award goes to Todd Phillips and Scott Silver for Joker. Moving on to Best Original Screenplay now. I know sometimes films that appear in this category can be quite confusing for some people because it might be based on a true story, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's an adapted screenplay, because it could be the first telling of that real life story. It might not be based on an article or anything like that. So yeah, just to clarify. But the nominations for this category are as follows: Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story, Ronald Bronstein, Benny Safdie and Josh Safdie for Uncut Gems, Ryan Johnson for Knives Out, Anthony McCartan for The Two Popes, and Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And the winner for this category is Anthony McCartan for The Two Popes.
I can no longer sit on the chair of St. Peter.
You're mistaken. You are.
Silence! I cannot play this role anymore.
Next up, we've got Best Supporting Actress. Well, nominees are Kylie Curran for Dr. Sleep, Rebecca Ferguson for Dr. Sleep, Thomasin McKenzie for Jojo Rabbit, Idina Menzel for Uncut Gems, and Margot Robbie for Bombshell. And the winner of this category is Thomasin McKenzie for Jojo Rabbit.
You're not a Nazi, Jojo. You're a 10-year-old kid who likes dressing up in a funny uniform and wants to be part of a club.
Next up, we've got the award for Best Supporting Actor. Now, as I say, I did release my nominations a few days ago. I will say I have seen another film since putting out those nominations, and one of my nominees has changed. I've gotten rid of one and I've put someone else in instead. But that's as I say, because I only saw the film within the past few days, and it did had an impact. Changed my decision. It was very hard to knock the person out that I did knock out, but there you go. But the nominees for this category are Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes, Al Pacino for The Irishman, Joe Pesci for The Irishman, Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Now, the new addition there was, of course, Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, a performance that really struck a chord with me, and kind of I just felt like it deserved the nomination. However, the winner of this category is Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes.
You must remember that you are not God. You're only human.
Getting into the Best Actress category now, Best Leading Actress, and the nominees are Ana de Armas for Knives Out, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Lupita Nyong'o for Us, Florence Pugh for Fighting with My Family, and Saoirse Ronan for Little Women. And the winner of this category goes to Lupita Nyong'o for Us.
Be careful.
That may come as quite a shock for anyone who knows me, because, well, if you know me, you'll know I think that Us was a highly overrated film. Definitely doesn't come anywhere near my top 10 of the year. But as I stated at the start, one of the reasons for doing an award show rather than a top 10 is that it gives me the opportunity to mark certain things out that deserve marking out. And I do think that Lupita Nyong'o's performance in Us was incredible, not least of which she was playing two different characters who were often on screen at the same time as one another. So yeah, I thought she did an excellent job, and I truly believe that, yeah, best performance of the year. Moving into Best Actor now, we've got the following 5 nominations. Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver for Marriage Story, Brad Pitt for Ad Astra, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, and Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems. And the winner, of course, as if there was any doubt, is Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. How could it not be? Perhaps the most deserving Oscar that was handed out this year, I feel. Yeah, I think if there was one to place money on this year, it would have been this one. It was a kind of a clear lock, really. Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, amazing performance, absolutely incredible, and the recipient of this year's Best Actor of the Lomax Movie Awards. Getting into the last 2 awards now, starting with Best Director. And the nominees for this category are Noah Baumbach for Marriage Story, Sam Mendes for 1917, Todd Phillips for Joker, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, and Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And the winner of this category goes to Sam Mendes for 1917. Which of course now brings us to the final and perhaps most important award, which is the Best Film. So I have 10 nominees in this category. These are essentially my top 10 movies of last year. So anyone who would like me to do a top 10 video, this is essentially it. Obviously I'm not going to put them in order, these are just nominees, but these are my top 10 movies of the year. So the nominees for Best Film are 1917, Alita: Battle Angel, Avengers: Endgame, Doctor Sleep, The Irishman, Joker, Knives Out, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and The Two Popes. And the winner of Best Film for the 2020 Lomax Movie Awards is, as if there was any doubt, Joker. Of course it's Joker. Of course it's Joker. Yes, my best film of the year. I think it's absolutely incredible. Not everyone agrees. It is quite a divisive film in some quarters. With regards to the Oscars, I can understand it not winning. And as much as I prefer Joker over Parasite, I do kind of think that Parasite is the right choice. If you look on a lot of film sites and whatnot, Parasite does get graded very highly. So just because I don't think it's the best film, I think the majority opinion does tend to suggest that it is. So yeah, I'm not unhappy with Parasite winning. I'm quite surprised, must be said, but no, it's a good film. But Joker, for my money, is the best film of 2019, and it is this year's winner of the best film for Lomax Movie Awards 2020. But what about you guys? What do you think of my choices? What do you think of the Oscars choices? Please leave your comments down below and let me know what your choices would be. Yeah, thank you for watching this video, and until next time, crack it.